it was a bit more challenging than I was expecting it to be. Lots of training went into it, but you can never plan for the things you don't expect. I developed knee pain on Friday, rested it so I could keep going on Saturday, but it was pretty painful and got to a point where I couldn't actually get out of the saddle to climb on the biggest climbing day yesterday. So had to take a little turn in the van to slingshot over a couple of hills, but managed to get back on the bike. And resting at lots of ice yesterday meant I could ride every kilometre today.
It pushed me to my limit. But that's the point. We push ourselves to the limits in the same way that, cancer sufferers are pushed to the limit. So it really feels that you're earning your sponsorship.
Yeah, it's for a brilliant cause, secondary breast cancer research, which is often kind of underfunded. Christine, as you know, is going through that at the moment. This year's target is raising 120k over the next 2 years for a PhD student. So we're all about funding the future.
My daughter Grace, who's 12, and she did the Women's 100 a few weeks ago to raise money for One More City as well. It's sort of in memory of the grandma she never knew, because my mum died before she was born, before either of my kids were born. So it is something that's very precious to me, because secondary breast cancer was what got my mum. What's so cruel about it is the fact that people have been through successful treatment for breast cancer and then it just comes back with a vengeance and there's nothing that can be done but treatment. And these days to have a means of researching different types of treatment that can allow people to actually live with cancer, I think is so important.
I can't think of anybody whose life hasn't been touched by cancer. It's a disease that affects so many people. And even if you directly haven't been affected by cancer, you'll know someone within your family who has.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the reality is that people are living with cancer nowadays rather than, suffering. And, what Christine's doing is trying to allow people to live a life.
Hey, Christine!
Hello. Christine is like one of my heroes. I don't know, she gets on with it with such an amazing attitude, not a victim at all. And the things that she achieves in an amazing way. She's so good at persuading people to do stuff that they don't really want to do.
Inspirational is
Yes.
a word that is used a lot,
Yes.
but it can be overused, but not in Christine's case.
No, I agree.
She is utterly inspirational. Every time you have a tough time on the bike, you realise that she's going through all that you're going through and a hell of a lot more.
Correct.
We do it for Christine, we do it for all of the men and women out there to try and make things better for the future.
This was a really, really hard year. Same distance as other years, but this is harder, and I can find out why. Just the conditions on the road, constantly up and down, and the really sharp, steep stuff made for a really hard ride.
Yeah. Well, next year it'll be in the planned route, planned destination, and
Really a piece of cake after this.
it will be. Well done and sleep well.
Thank you.